So this is just to recall that what we have discussed in the last class. So earlier we have discussed the diagonal matrix. What was it? If the off diagonals for a diagonal matrix of diagonals entries are all 0. So it has the form of diagonal matrix. It may be of this form 0, 0, whatever may be the case. We don't bother about it. Okay, this is a 3 by 3 diagonal matrix. Okay. The stars can be anything. It can be 0, it can be non-zero also. So that is why 0 matrix is a diagonal matrix. Identity matrix, some simple examples are there. Identity matrix is a diagonal matrix. And then we have seen that given a matrix A, arbitrary matrix, and then there are procedures for which we can find given A, we can find a P matrix. We can find P and P inverse for which this can be related. P inverse AP becomes a diagonal matrix, where this diagonal matrix is nothing but the eigenvalues of the this is called a spectral matrix. Of A, and this P called modal matrix. Modal matrix, if P, this particular P formed, this matrix is formed by linearly independent eigenvectors. Of A. So in this is up to this we have seen. Okay, now this process from A to P inverse AP, finding this process is called diagonalization. This process is known as diagonalization. Now, why this diagonalization is important, that I will show you some practical examples so that you will you can relate this topic to your real life problems. Okay. Now, for a given matrix, we have seen the question is whether all matrices are, whether every matrix is diagonalizable. The answer is no. There are some particular matrices. There are some matrices which are diagonalizable. The answer is no. For this example, we have seen, if we call it example 1, then we have seen in the last class that it has 3 different eigenvalues. For that, we will get 3 different eigenvectors. And these eigenvectors corresponding to these different eigenvalues will be linearly independent. If these vectors are linearly independent, then we know that the particular matrix P, the model matrix formed by these 3 vectors, will be invertible. The determinant will be non-zero. Determinant of P will be non-zero. So this is linearly independent. Because of that, we can have this guarantee that P will be invertible matrix. Determinant of P will be non-zero. And then we'll try to find out P inverse. And it is an easy task to verify that. Okay, just a lengthy computation, but it is not a difficult task. You need to verify P inverse AP is nothing but it is going to be the D matrix. Since we have taken x1 corresponding to 0, so that is why this 0 vector, this 0 value, this particular eigenvalue will come at the first position, first column. And then this 3 has been taken in the second column. So this 3 will come at the second A22 position. And similarly, -4 will come at the A33 position. Okay, so if you take this, if you shuffle this order of the columns, then also we'll get a different P, but that different P will also be invertible matrix. And for that particular matrix, this order of the main diagonal elements, they will be changed. So there will be more like 6 possible D matrices and 6 possible P matrices for this particular example. Now, what we can see, there is a relation. If we have 3 different eigenvalues, then we will get 3 different eigenvectors because their multiplicity in the characteristic equation are 1. So they will have at least, it will exactly 1. Exactly 1 eigenvector. Linearly independent eigenvector will be exactly 1. The problem comes to the situation when we have a repeated root. For example, we have seen this example several times. Just to recall, okay, just to confirm that not all matrices are diagonalizable. So in order to have, this has a repeated root, but this is not diagonalizable because if you want to have this diagonalizable, what you need by the definition, you need at least the order n. If a matrix is n by n order, then what we need? N different, n distinct, linearly independent eigenvectors. But here for this problem, so here it is 2 by 2, but we have only one eigenvector. Linearly independent, of course, this is one eigenvector, it's a linearly independent eigenvector, only one. Okay. So you cannot find a P. P should also be 2 by 2 order. Otherwise, it is not possible. X1 and X2, you don't get such P. So that is why you cannot make P inverse AP. You cannot have this 5, 0, 0, 5. So this is not possible. Okay. So this matrix is not diagonalizable. Okay. Now, whether for all the cases this will happen, I mean, when we have repeated root, then the matrix cannot be diagonalizable. So this is also false. Why? Because the next example will show you. Okay. It has a repeated root. 8 is a repeated root for this case, repeated eigenvalue, multiplicity 2. And we have seen that for lambda equals to 11, we have one eigenvector. So this one was one eigenvector. And for this case, for lambda equals to 8, we have two eigenvectors. So easily we can find, if you write P equals to K1, K2, and K3. So this will give you like 1, 1, 1, then minus 1, 1, 0, and then minus 1, 0, and 1. So this matrix is going to be definitely determinant of P is non-zero. So this will imply P inverse exists. And if you try to find out, so from here you can have P inverse AP. You can verify P inverse AP will be D matrix. And this D matrix is nothing but, so this is, we have taken Q1 for lambda equals to 11. So this is 11, 0, 0, 0, 8, 0, and 0, 0, 8. Okay. So what happens? The diagonalization of a matrix does not depend on the number of eigenvalues. It depends on the number of eigenvectors. Okay. So this is an important remark. This is an important remark. Linearly independent. Number of linearly independent eigenvectors. Okay. Okay, so this is what we have learned so far. Now there is a two important theorem, or you can say remark. Let me just recall. Question is, for a given eigenvalue, how many linearly independent eigenvectors are there for a given eigenvalue? So this can be this is we have discussed earlier also. First one says, if the eigenvectors corresponding to distinct eigenvalues are linearly independent. If we have, for suppose, the characteristic polynomial this is what equals to lambda to the power n plus a1 lambda to the power n minus 1 plus suppose an equals to 0, and if this lambda 1 and n degree polynomial will have n exactly n roots, fundamental theorem of algebra. Okay, so if all are distinct, all are distinct, all distinct eigenvalues, sorry, there was a power cut in my area. So, is it visible and audible to you now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, right, thank you. So, what we are discussing that if all the eigenvalues are distinct, then we will have corresponding eigenvectors will also be linearly independent. Xn are linearly independent. Remember, this symbol indicates not equal to, that means they are distinct. Okay. Now, what happens if we have a repeated root? If all are distinct, then we don't have to worry about it. But if we have a repeated root, then we need to be careful while making decisions, that whether this is a linear, actually whether this is diagonalizable or not. For that we have to be careful. Okay, so what are those? Result 2, let us understand what is result 2. Result 2 says, if lambda is an eigenvalue For example, if we have this, okay, let me tell that particular example. If A equals to 9, 1, 1, 1, 9, 1, then 1, 1, 9. We have seen that the characteristic polynomial or characteristic equation is lambda minus 11 times lambda minus 8 whole square equals to 0. Okay, right. Now, here lambda equals to 8 has multiplicity equals to 2. Okay. For this particular A is in a square matrix of order 3 by 3. Then the number of linearly independent eigenvectors associated with this lambda is given by the equation, is given by this number P equals to n minus r, where r is the rank of this particular matrix. That means if you talk about this 8 times, this is lambda, and lambda is 8 times 8. Okay, you have to take the rank. So if you do this, where what it is, 9, 1, 1, 1, 9, 1, and then to find okay, this lambda 1, 1, 9, 8 times I. I means identity matrix of order 3 here. So if you do this, so 9 minus 8 times 1, so this becomes 1. So 1 minus 0, this becomes 1. So 1 minus 0, 1. So all will be 1. Okay. Now can you tell me what is the rank of this matrix?
1.
Okay. So rank of this A minus 8i will be 1. Okay. Now if you go back to this previous theorem, this remark, n is 1 is the r equals to 1 and n is 3. So this is r. Okay. Let us write. And we have A equals to n by n, that is in this case 3 by 3 here. Okay, so n equals to 3. Thus we have P equals to n minus r. N minus r. So that means 3 minus 1. So there will be 2. So that is why corresponding to this lambda equals to 8, it gave us 2 linearly independent eigenvectors. If you just go back and check, yeah, so yeah, for this case, the rank of this matrix is 1. So n minus 1 is n minus r. Here r is, n is 3, r is 1. So this is 2. So there will be 2 linearly independent eigenvectors. So these are the eigenvectors. But suppose be only 1, sorry, rank will be 2. Then 3 minus 2, it will be only 1. Okay. So in order to find the diagonalizability, you just need to confirm that whether for this 3 by 3 matrix, it has 3 independent linearly eigenvectors or not. If it is there, then you can just confirm it. Yeah, it is diagonalizable. If it is not there, then this is not. So for that, what you need to find the rank of these matrices. So rank of this matrix is very important. So if you try to connect the dot, why we have studied the rank of a matrix, now you can find that this is connected to the diagonalizability of a matrix. So all the concepts that we have studied earlier will be connected to some of the topic that is going to discuss later on. Okay. So similarly, if you look at the matrix here, the rank of this particular matrix, rank of A minus 11I is what is 2. Okay. So how many distinct eigenvectors will be there? Linearly eigenvectors. So here it is. It will be n minus r will be 3 minus 2, it will be 1. So only one eigenvectors we have seen for this case. Here it is. Okay. Now, we have been studying the concept of diagonalization. Given a matrix A, let us not think about only 3 by 3. Let us think about a generalized matrix. Okay. If we have such situation, then what we are trying to do is we will try to find out P matrix, then P, and P inverse AP will become a diagonal matrix where T becomes the eigenvectors. Sorry, eigenvalues. The diagonal element will be the eigenvalues. So this is what we have learned so far. Now, question is, can we do diagonalization process in a different way? The answer will be yes. So this diagonalization. Answer will be yes. Okay, but with some conditions. In the answer will be yes. So for that we have similarity transformation. Similarity transformation. Question is orthogonal transformation. Second thing is okay. So let us understand. Today we will discuss about the similarity transformation. What is this? When we call two matrices are similar, and then we will define what is a similarity transformation. Okay. So for similar matrices, we will call, and the aim is to find similar matrix. If A is similar to a diagonal matrix, then we call it A is diagonalizable. One thing for diagonalization, we can see that A is diagonalizable if it has if this is n by n matrix, if it has n distinct linearly independent eigenvectors. So that is one definition. So now another definition can be given in this way. A is a similar matrix. A is similar to a diagonal matrix. Then we call it A is diagonalizable. So for that, we have to understand what is similar matrix. A is said to be a similar matrix to B. Of course, they will have same order, square matrices of same order. Okay. If we can find if there exists an invertible matrix P such that we will get A equals to P inverse BP. So this is very closely related to the topic that we have just now discussed. P inverse AP equals to T, where this was a spectral matrix. You forget about that because the similar matrices similarity transformation is a bigger class of, it will give you the bigger class. But this eigenvalue transformation, you can say this is eigenvalue decomposition theorem also. If we think about this model matrix, this will give you only the particular matrix which is only related to, so if you can discuss the class of this P matrix, the similarity, this P invertible P matrix is a bigger set. Okay. So let me just, this is a model matrix. Model matrix is a smaller class and this arbitrary P matrix for similarity. So this invertible matrices, a class of invertible matrices. This is a set of invertible matrices. Now, model matrices are some special matrices which are also invertible. Okay. Now we are taking this P inverse we are taking now from this bigger set. From this bigger set we are taking. Of course, you can take model matrix. Then this will lead to of this special particular class, specific class. But we are talking about similarity transformation, which is a more generalized one. Okay. So as you can see, if we can find such P matrix, then it will have of this equation. Or in other words, if we can find, we can write, since this is invertible, so B can be written as PA P inverse. Therefore, A is similar to B if and only if B is similar to A. That means if A is similar to B, this will imply B is similar to A. Or if B is similar to A, then it will imply A is similar to B. Okay. And this P matrix is called similarity transformation matrix. Earlier we had this is model matrix. So P is called now similarity matrix. So similarity matrix is a bigger class. Okay. So let me just rename them. Yeah, similarity. The set of, this is a set of similarity matrix. Similarity matrix. This is a bigger set of matrices, and model matrix are actually a small set of matrices, invertible matrices, of course. And this transformation is called similarity transformation. Now, question is, what will be the eigenvalues of the similar matrices? We will answer to this question because everything we will try to do these eigenvalues and eigenvectors. Why? Because they are also called as characteristic equations or characteristic values. So the characteristic of a matrix will be explained, or it is easy to understand of a matrix, the characteristic of a matrix by the eigenvalue and eigenvectors. So if we have two matrices given A and B, question is whether they are similar or not. So for that, what we have to do? We have to satisfy PA equals to BP. So let us call P equals to ABCD. Then PA, let P be this matrix. So we want to find out ABCD so that we will be able to find out this matrix. And then BP. So this will give you, what is it? 5, or not this way. A, B, C, D. And then 5, 5, minus 2, 0. So this will equate to the right hand side. It is, what is it? Tell me. 1, 2, minus 3, 4. So this is going to be A, B, C, and D. Now if you just simplify this system, it will become, okay, matrix multiplication 5A minus 2B, and then 5A plus 0B. So let us not write 0B. Okay, then 5C plus of minus 2C, 2D. And then this is 5C plus 0D. So this is left hand side matrix, just simple matrix multiplication. And then it will become 1A, let us write A, then 2 plus 2C. And then 1B plus 2D. B plus 2D. Similarly, minus 3A plus 4C. And then minus 3B plus 4D. So now if you equate this left hand side matrix and the right hand side matrix, then this will give you what it is, 5A minus 2B equals to A plus 2C. So this will give you, so 4A minus, what is it, 2B minus 2C equals to 0. So this is equation number 1. Call it equation number 1. Then 5A equals to B plus 2D. So we can have this as A minus B minus 2D equals to 0. We call it equation number 2. Okay, similarly, we will have 5C minus 2D. This one equals to this one. So this will become minus A, minus of this, this will become plus 3A minus 4C equals to 0. Or if you can simplify it, so this becomes 3A minus, so this is 5C minus 4C. So this is C plus 2D becomes 0. So call it equation number 3. And then we will have
2 minus 2D.
Tell me.
3A
also, this is minus 2. Minus 2D. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. And then we will have 5C minus of my plus 3B minus 4D equals to 0. So we call it a 4. So we have a system of linear equations. So 4 equations and 4 variables. Okay. Now, if we just try to look at the situation, what it will be?
Yes, sir. Sir,
Yeah, tell me.
sir, can you show me previous slide?
So let me just recall these equations. 4a minus 2b minus 2c equals to 0. Equals to 0. Then 5a minus b minus 2d equals to 0. Then 3a minus, sorry, this is it plus or not? This would be plus, right? Okay, minus 2d equals to 0. And then 3b plus 5c minus 4d equals to 0. So let me just clarify. This is going to be plus. Yeah, right. Okay. Okay. So this is a homogeneous system. The right hand side is 0. So a homogeneous system will have always solution, always consistent, either unique solution or many solutions. So here we have 4 equations and 4 variables. But if you try to solve this equation, then you will get A equals to 1, B equals to 1, C equals to 1, and D equals to 2. So what happens if P is 1, 1, 1, 2? Then determinant of P is 2 minus 1, which is 1, not equals to 0. Implies P inverse exists. And it will definitely satisfy PA equals to BP, because we have found this P matrix from this relation. Okay, so it will satisfy. So here it is, the similarity matrix.
Hello, sir.
Yes, tell me.
Sir, is there an easy way to solve like 4 equations and 4 variables things, sir? Like using matrices or something?
No. There is no other easy way. It is only you have to go either by Gauss elimination or Gauss-Jordan method. There are also some other actually methods are there, but we have to implement. I mean, we have to apply this method, a systematic method. So that is why finding a similarity matrix is not an easy task. Because for a simple problem, 2 by 2 matrix, we are having a 4 by 4 system of linear equations. So we have to struggle a lot to find out the similarity transformation. So the transformation is called, here it is, okay, P inverse AP will be B. This particular transformation, if you do that, then what happens? Okay, if P equals to 1, 1, 1, 2, and A equals to, we have, what we have? 5, 5 minus 2, 0. 5, 5 minus 2, 0. And then you take here this inverse. Okay, find what is P inverse? This is a 2 by 2 matrix. Just tell me.
2
2 minus 1 minus.
Right. So if you try to verify P inverse AP, then you are going to definitely going to get 2 minus 1 minus 1 1 and then 5 5 minus 2 0 and then 1 1 1 2. So this is going to be the matrix A 1 2 minus 3 4. Okay, so here it is B. That means we are transforming A matrix to the B matrix with the help of P and P inverse. So this transformation, okay, will be called as similarity transformation. For that, we have one similarity matrix. So it is unfortunate that this process is not that much easy. For a simple matrix, 2 by 2 order matrix, we have to solve a 4 by 4 system. So when it happens a 4 by 4 system, then you will have a 16 by 16, 16 equations, 16 variables.
Sir.
Yes.
Sir, so will this kind of
Sir, the matrix B is equal to PA, P inverse, na, sir?
One at a time, just tell me.
Matrix B is equal to PA, P inverse, na, sir? You written P inverse AP.
Oh, yeah, yes, yes. Actually, yeah. For this particular, anyway, I mean, yeah. It has stuck to my mind that we are discussing about the model matrix also. Okay. Yeah, P inverse AP will be. So anyway, I am writing PA P inverse equals to B. Yeah, so you can verify this. EA P inverse. Yeah, right. You are right. Yeah, verify PA P inverse. Verify that. Verify this relation. Otherwise, you can do the other part also, that P inverse AP A equals to, the other part will be P inverse BEP, right? This is also called similar because A is similar to B, then B is also similar to A. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Sir, please show me 6th slide, sir.
Tell me. This one?
6th slide, sir.
6th.
This one. Sorry, sir. 8 1.
Sir.
This one, right?
Next one.
Okay.
Sir, 8 1, sir. 8 1.
Can you repeat?
Sir, is it P inverse AP equal to D, sir?
P inverse AP equals to D.
We
have verified this.
Sir, what is this, sir?
Can you repeat? Your voice is not audible. Can you repeat, please?
Sir.
Yes.
So we have linearly independent vectors more than the order of the matrix.
No, it cannot be.
Sir, but in case if we have more than one linear independent, then can't we have like that?
No, we cannot have this. Linearly independent vectors cannot be more than the order of the matrix. You see here, this relation, okay, the rank of this particular matrix, the modified matrix A minus lambda I is R, and P is the number of independent, linearly independent eigenvectors, which is 1, is bounded by 1 to m. M is the multiplicity. Okay, so for multiplicity, if you think about a particular matrix, for example, 0 matrix. Okay, if you think about 0 matrix, what is its this called
3 multiplicity 3.
Lambda cube equals to 0, right?
Yes, sir.
So lambda equals to 0 is the only eigenvalue, and it is repeated root. Okay, so this is a very trivial example. Let me give you the identity matrix. So 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. So lambda minus 1 cube equals to 0. So order is 3 by 3. So multiplicity is 3. So you can see the number of linearly independent matrices, linearly eigenvectors cannot exceed the order of the matrix. P is bounded by m. M is the multiplicity. It can be maximum of 3.
Okay.
This m is maximum. M is also bounded by 3. You can have in this relation. Now, just quickly tell me if a matrix is all 1. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So what are the eigenvalues of this matrix? Lambda equals to, tell me.
1.
No, 1 cannot be there. 0 and 3. Why? You use the relation that lambda 1, lambda 2, and lambda 3 equals to the determinant of A. When we have 2 rows equal, here it is 3 rows are equal. So the determinant will be 0, right? So 0 is an eigenvalue. Definitely 0 is an eigenvalue. You have to think about the other. Just try to find the characteristic equation. Have you verified?
Trace is 3, no, sir.
1, 1, yeah. For this one, lambda equals to 0 and 2. If we have I2, but if we have I3, then lambda will be, for I3, lambda will be 0 and 3. Here, you apply the formula. If we have a 2 by 2 order for 2 by 2 matrix, the characteristic equation is lambda square minus trace of A, and then plus determinant of A equals to 0. If we have 3 by 3, then what is it? Lambda cube minus trace of A plus summation AII, the cofactors, times, sorry, here it would be lambda square plus, then this is lambda, and then minus determinant of A equals to 0. So if you have
In 2 cross 2 also with trace of A, there would be lambda.
yes, you are right. I forgot. Yeah. So if you think about I3, 1, 1, 1. No, I3 not. Sorry, I2 means identity matrix. If we have all ones, in the matrix, so this is 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay. You can say that cofactors will be 0. This portion becomes 0. The trace will be here 2 lambda, and then lambda square minus. And determinant is always 0. When we have rows, 2 rows are equal. Okay. So all the rows are equal, then we'll have a similar. So this is determinant is also 0. Cofactors will be 0 because 1 minus 1, 1 minus 1, 1 minus 1. So this becomes 0. And here we will have only lambda cube minus trace will be 3 lambda square becomes 0. So this is nothing but lambda, lambda square you take common, so lambda minus 3. So if you have n by n order with all 1, okay, 1, 1, dot, dot, 1, 1, 1, dot, 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 1, all ones, 1. So this lambda values are actually 0 and n. So 2 by 2 matrix, it is coming 2. For 3 by 3 matrix, it is coming lambda equals to 0, 3. So for n by n matrix, it will come at 0 n n, where the 0 will have multiplicity of order n minus 1. Okay, so that's a different problem. Let me just tell you about the concept, what whether two matrices are similar or not, how do we find? Okay. So this is a given equation. So try to, if they are similar, then PA equals to BP. This will be satisfied. So if you try to find out what will happen here, 1, 0, 0, 1. P equals to, okay, so P, let us assume P equals to ABCD. Then ABCD times, so this is equals to BA, right? BP, B is here 1, 1, 0, 1. If you try to multiply with this matrix, so it will become ABCD. Now if you try to again do this equation, so this is nothing but, since this is the identity matrix, so you will have the repeated A, B, C, and D. But for this case, you will have a different situation, like, okay, so this multiplied by this, okay, so 1 times A plus C, then 1 times B plus 1 times D, that A into 0, so this becomes 0, plus C into, 1 into C, so it becomes C. Similarly, this will become D. So this equating the left hand side matrix and the right hand side matrix will give you the C these are equal. So A plus C equals to A. This is giving you C equals to 0. Similarly, D equals to 0, because B plus D is giving you B. So B minus B becomes D equals to 0. So this particular P matrix now is becoming AB, CD. So this is nothing but of this form. So C and D are 0. But is it an invertible matrix? It is not, because the determinant of P becomes 0. So this becomes singular matrix. It is not. So these two matrices are not similar. But the question is, if you think about the eigenvalues of this, what is the characteristic equation of this problem? These are lambda minus 1 whole square equals to 0. How about this characteristic equation? This is also lambda minus 1 whole square equals to 0. So they have same eigenvalues, but they are not similar. The question that I raised at the beginning, what will be the eigenvalues of similar matrices? Okay. The question is, okay, there is a theorem. What we will do? Okay. It remains that they may have the same eigenvalues, but they may not be similar. But if they are similar, then they will have, definitely they will have same eigenvalues. Okay. Similar matrices have same eigenvalues, same characteristic equation, and hence same eigenvalues. Further, if X is an eigenvector of A, then associated to lambda, then P inverse X is an eigenvector of B associated to B. Sorry, associated to lambda, where P is the similarity matrix. Now, this is a very important theorem. It says if so let us, okay, it is already 9:10, sorry, 9:08. So I'll stop here and then I will discuss the rest topic tomorrow's class, I mean the next class. Okay. Proof, I'll tell you, think how to prove it, or I will give it in the next class. But till then, try to verify whether two matrices are, okay, I have not given any practice problem here. So let me just check if I can give you some practice problem.